to stay alive. Trying to find me shawty and make her mine. Now I'll find one in no time. With the help of my homies, I'm going out with my bros. With my bros.
Holy crap, that cliffhanger ending from last week's triple season 1 part 2 premiere, bruh, was incredible. Go ahead and like the video. Let's try to get to 50 likes because this is an interesting topic. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Seriously, you want to do that because, well, it helps me get to 1 million subscribers. Hit the bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out when I post new content. And finally, follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. Tom is out of the frying pan and into the fryer. Is that what the expression is? I don't know. Anyway, so it seems like things with Valerie have been settled because Valerie told the truth as to how, you know, she lied about the allegations. So that was it, even though Tom rightfully was concerned because it's like, so is she still going to be working here or what? Because the way the chief put it is like, oh, she'll be punished. And I pretty much explained the severe consequences of what she could have done if, well, excuse me. She explained the seriousness of the allegations. And Tom is like, that's not good enough. After everything that happened, I don't feel comfortable in the same work environment as her. Rightfully so. Tom was, okay, honestly, I'm still confused as to why Tom showed up to work. Because remember, he was supposed to be suspended, right? I mean, well, then again, maybe Valerie did tell the truth. Hang on, let me look. Okay, so Valerie was at Tom's apartment door, which was the same night as the bachelorette party at the sandwich shop. And then that same night, that's when John came home and then Alice had the stripper. And then he called Tom to stay with him on the couch. Well, stay at his place on the couch. And then Tom's like, I got to go to sleep for work. So the only way that Tom going to work makes sense is if Valerie called the chief that night after she left the apartment to say, I need to tell you something. And then the chief called Tom to say, hey, Tom, come in tomorrow for your shift. Unless the suspension didn't take hold until the next, you know, I don't know, but whatever. It was a good cliffhanger. Anyway, Mike called it that the chief wanted to sleep with him. Kudos to Mike. But also, let's talk about, this is why I love Bruh, because it tackles some real world stuff, not just from a female perspective, because men deal with sexual harassment in the workplace as well. It's true. And like he said with Valerie, it's like, Valerie made for an uncomfortable work environment from Tom. There was an earlier episode where this one nurse was giving him attitude because apparently he had a reputation amongst the nurses, which of course Valerie probably spread rumors. And as a result, that led to awkward situations where Tom is just trying to do his job and he has to deal with these women with attitude. Now, on top of that, you know, Valerie, again, got a slap on the wrist compared to Tom, who was about to lose his job and his record being tarnished. So that just leads to a lot of questions. Chief, how many girls have you let off for this kind of behavior? How many men have gotten fired from the hospital under your watch because of these allegations? There are so many questions I have, which means I have to watch each episode one by one because we're only getting one episode a week now. But this is a very interesting development because of the fact that Tom is like, she's the chief, but damn, like, is the person in HR, like, if Tom goes to HR, is it a woman too? Is this, because HR can be a hot mess in any company. So there are just so many different ways to break this down. I mean, imagine if Valerie and Tom were together, would the chief still want to get with Tom? But then again, because I remember the episode where the allegations were, you know, brought up and, you know, the chief and Tom were talking one-on-one. And he mentioned a Christmas party. It's like, we were all drunk. You too, chief. Hey, don't put me in your story. So it makes me wonder whether or not, you know, Tom, the chief probably would have made a pass at Tom, if not Valerie. But, you know, Valerie didn't, you know, swoop in first. But here's what I'm thinking. Because as Tom pointed out, it seems like you're looking at this very personally. It's like you're talking about my appearance, that I'm handsome and everything. And it's like, well, yeah, I thought you were one of those guys who just, you got women, falling at your feet. You just treat them like trash. But now I know you're not one of those guys. Okay. She's been through some stuff. I'm pretty sure she's fired a lot of male employees for this kind of stuff. Where probably, a Tom, I just want to say a Tom, but let's say another person who was a Tom slept with her, and then I guess you could say stop calling or something, and then for any kind of any little thing, she would probably get them fired from the job. So I think that Tom is probably not the first person that the chief has tried to hook up with. Now the question is, Tom, what you gonna do now? You gonna lay down and take whatever prescription the chief is going to give you? Or are you going to walk out of the office and hope that she doesn't threaten you to say, you know what, maybe those allegations she said were real and I won't take them from your record? Blackmail. Or do you think you should just go back? I would go back to Valerie. That's just me. Everybody needs a little crazy. Just saying. But for real, no joke. I really do like this storyline because this kind of crap happens a lot in real world. So I just like the fact that Tyler is showing us that, yes, males go through this just like females. Quiet as it's kept, because trust me, it is quiet. Males deal with this stuff as well. So the question is, what is Tom going to do? What's Mike's reaction going to be to this? Remember, he's a lawyer, so, and plus he called it, so it makes a lot of sense. Mike, please don't tell Tom to do it. So, with that being said, I think this was a great episode. I can't wait to see where the storyline is going to go with this. Interesting stuff. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. If you would like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal, Cash App, or join Patreon for as little as $1 a month.